Hello, everyone. This is Yoko. In this channel, I will share information in English about events happening in China that may not be widely known in other countries, based on the information I've gathered. I obtain information from various media sources, so I would appreciate your comments on the content of the videos. English is not my native language, so I use an AI speaker to read in English. If you find the content interesting, please consider subscribing to the channel and offering your support. Now, let me introduce you to the intriguing world of China. The topic for today is the dual-track diplomacy of the Chinese Communist Party, with discussions on how Russia is restraining it through information disclosure. To elaborate, China's dual-track diplomacy currently signifies its very close economic relationship with Russia. This is due to major economic powers in the West, possessing significant economic strength, ceasing dealings with Russia. Filling this void, Chinese companies are stepping in, making China a significant trading partner for Russia. From Russia's perspective, the proportion of imports from China has become substantial. For Russia, this implies dependence on China, unable to purchase goods from other countries. It also signifies that China is buying what Russia can't obtain elsewhere. However, trade is mutual, and from the perspective of Chinese companies, Russia becomes a crucial and important customer. Amidst this, recently, Xi Jinping visited the United States, engaging in dialogue with the U.S. government. While the specific details of these talks are not entirely clear, both the U.S. and China have their own situations. Despite ongoing tensions between the U.S. and China, neither side currently wants the conflict to escalate further. China is facing economic challenges, and the repercussions are becoming visible. In this scenario, a significant source of instability for Chinese society is unemployment, as the economy is declining, leading to increased unemployment. If the economy rapidly deteriorates further, social instability may follow. Xi Jinping might be aiming for a scenario similar to North Korea, prioritizing the strengthening of Communist Party control over economic development. On the other hand, the U.S. cannot afford a full-scale confrontation with China over issues like Ukraine or Palestine. Both sides have their own domestic concerns. Therefore, there is a possibility that the Chinese Communist Party and the U.S. government are negotiating and trying to avoid further deterioration in their relationship, at least in the short to medium term. On the other hand, the United States is inevitably facing a significant confrontation with China over issues like Ukraine and Palestine. Both countries have domestic concerns of their own. Therefore, there is a possibility that the Chinese Communist Party and the U.S. government are negotiating to avoid the deterioration of their relationship at least in the short to medium term. From Russia's perspective, China has become an important country. While benefiting from trade with China, Russia is also attempting to maintain relations with the United States. This, however, poses the risk of the U.S. reducing support to Russia. From Russia's standpoint, this is a concerning situation. In the midst of all this, the major theme of this situation is revealed through a recent announcement by TASS, the Russian news agency. It disclosed that the Russian military is using vehicles purchased directly from China. The Russian military has already deployed 537 units of a vehicle called Desert Cross and plans to purchase an additional 1,500 units from China. In essence, Chinese companies are directly providing vehicles for use on the battlefield to the Russian military, a fact revealed by the Russian side. While the use of Chinese-made equipment by the Russian military has been known for some time, China has consistently maintained that it is not directly supporting Russia, but rather, the equipment may have reached Russia through a third party or another country. So far, there hasn't been clear evidence that China is supporting or backing the Russian military. From the Chinese side, there has been a clear avoidance of direct involvement with the Russian military, allowing them to claim that they are not directly engaged. However, recent statements from Russian media contradict this, stating that Russia is directly purchasing military vehicles from Chinese companies. This revelation eliminates the possibility of claiming that the equipment reached Russia through a third country or unrelated entities. The timing of this information is noteworthy, as it closely follows Xi Jinping's visit to the United States. Ultimately, this move is seen as Russia's way of cautioning or restraining China amid the improving relations between the U.S. and China. From the perspective of Russia, China has become a crucial country. While benefiting from trade with China, Russia is concerned that if China improves relations with the United States, there is a possibility that the U.S. might reduce support to Russia. This places China in a challenging position. The central theme of this situation is highlighted by a recent announcement from TASS, the Russian news agency. According to TASS, the Russian military is using vehicles directly purchased from China. While the use of Chinese-made equipment by the Russian military has been known, this direct confirmation challenges China's consistent claim that it is not directly supporting Russia. This situation adds complexity to the delicate relationship dynamics between the United States, China, and Russia. Both the U.S. and China have their reasons to avoid escalating conflicts. From Russia's perspective, China's ambiguous stance may not be tolerated, and Russia might seek clearer indications of China's alignment. The Chinese Communist Party has various factions with different views. While many individuals and entities within the party have profited from collaborations with U.S. companies, there are also those within the party with more anti-U.S. sentiments. However, it's essential to recognize that not everyone in the party shares the same perspective. China's economy heavily relies on trade, particularly with powerful Western nations. Despite internal considerations and the desire to maintain a defense relationship with Russia, China faces challenges if its trade with the rest of the world is significantly affected. This intricate situation places China in a difficult position, balancing economic interests and geopolitical considerations. Looking ahead, the response of the Chinese Communist Party to the export of military vehicles to Russia will be a crucial aspect to watch. If they continue exporting, it may indicate a tacit endorsement from the Chinese government. The geopolitical landscape, involving the U.S., China, and Russia, remains complex and subject to further developments. That concludes our discussion for now. Until next time.